First of all, when you see bone like this, you know that this is the result of chronic ankle instability.
我们去看一下它这个正位片里面，如果腓骨远的这个地方的一些情况的话，是因为这个踝关节的不稳引起的它这边的大量的骨赘形成。
So the approach it has to be, you start laterally with your incision, you remove all of the osteophytes, and you debride your peroneal tendons and use your peroneal tendon for non-anatomic ankle reconstruction. So you make a lateral incision, remove all the osteophytes, and then you debride the peroneal tendon. Then you're going to use your peroneal tendon to do a reconstruction of your ankle instability.
他的那个马教授说了，就是说这个地方我们一定要去一个切口，去清除这些的一些骨性的组织，还有一些这个可能是疤痕。那么关键的话就是说我们要取它这个腓骨肌腱，去重建它的稳定性。
Now, my preference, if I have it available, is to do an opening wedge osteotomy, because I find that an opening wedge osteotomy is much easier to do.
像马德正的话，他可能会选择给他做一个踝上的截骨，因为开放的踝上截骨，这种术式相对来说比较简单一点。
But that depends on the availability of good graft. You need good bone graft. So I prefer to use allograft to do the osteotomy here, not iliac crest graft. No, I prefer to use allograft.
他会取一个一体骨去给它植骨，他不会去掐骨去那个做植骨。
But it is quite easy to do a closing wedge lateral osteotomy. You insert one pin parallel with the joint, one pin perpendicular to the axis of the tibia.
他做那个截骨的时候呢，会放那个插两个刻针，一个刻针的话在这个下胫腓的这个水平线，还有一个就是说在这个上方水平。
The only problem is this. You have to understand that this is the long axis of his tibia here. When you take out a wedge here, the axis here moves this way so that the center of the talus, which is here, and the center of the tibia, which is here, changes. And when you do a lateral closing wedge, the center of the talus moves laterally.
他这个选择他这个就是截骨的时候呢，他要先设定先找到一个胫骨的它这个旋转中心，还有一个就是说距骨的旋转中心。胫骨的旋转中心的话，正常是它一个终点线，但是呢，它因为做一个外侧楔形的截骨，所以把它这个距骨端的这个那个旋转中心要外移一部分，要外移。
Sometimes it is easy to do a dome osteotomy, and I take a 3mm drill, and I make multiple perforations here from the tibia across the fibula with a 3.5mm drill to do a dome osteotomy.
马教授的话，他设计的时候就是说给他做一个这种弧形的一个截骨，弧形的截骨在就他需要用一个3.5的这个钻头去做一个这个连续性的。
But that depends. If you do that, you use an anterior incision, and you need a very good plate for the front of the tibia, either an L plate or a T plate or a Y plate. It depends what we have available.
How do you cut the fibula?
So for that, I just cut the fibula. Well, I'm cutting the tibia here, and then I continue cutting the fibula obliquely. I use a saw to cut the fibula because you want your cut on the fibula to be here, in that plane. Remember, you're doing this with the ankle. Your tibia will move easily, but when you do that, your fibula needs to slide proximally. So it does not work to make your osteotomy all the way round into the fibula. It's difficult to move. So I prefer doing my tibia and then the fibula osteotomy obliquely. The fibula will slide. Yeah. So So it's a dome osteotomy of the tibia and an oblique osteotomy of the fibula.
马教授说了，他接下来他做截骨的时候呢，就是说胫骨端我们已经知道是一个弧形的，那么就是说如果做腓骨这个截骨线是这个斜线的话，那可能到时候这个扳的时候会比较困难，所以他会选择一个这个反方向的这个斜形，那这样它旋转的时候就腓骨就可以稍微往上这样推下去，那么就是这个输送操作会比较方便一点。
Now, if you do a dome osteotomy, as this rotates, you do not change the center of the talus with respect to the center of the tibia, because this is moving together that way. So, if you look at the axis here, I'll have to draw. I will show it to you. Never mind.